Yo, you in the mirrors. So pay attention. When I was down, they didn't have time. So when I'm up, I won't either. So this mirror talk is gonna be more about just how it goes, the routine, the patterns that come with when you got stuff going on for you versus that beforehand point before you have stuff going on for you. The way people kind of flop, but before you had it going on, nobody was worried about you. And when I say this, I mean this in every sense of what you could possibly imagine how a pattern like this would play out. What I mean by that, what I mean is, if you know that the way you got everything set up for yourself basically consists of, let's say for example, like I love to use the example, working out. You know that you working out, but before you had that workout body, before you really was just on point, looking like you work out and having a body that you always wanted, you had to put that work in. Meaning you didn't have the luxury to just say that you wanted it and you just woke up the next day and that's what was going on. That wasn't something you just had the option of being able to do. But anyway, you working out, but you ain't got the body yet. You got people around you that they see you working out and they see you getting up to put this work in, they not gonna acknowledge you. You feel me? They're not gonna give you the respect or the recognition that you would really deserve for all the work you putting in, which is why you have to value the work that you putting in. Because as shallow as it may sound, it'll be situations where, let's say, like I said, you working on that body, you working on getting yourself in line. You're not gonna get the same respect from people about you working out as you will get once you done made it to that threshold where you got that body that you've been wanting and talking about having. So when you haven't hit that threshold yet, you're gonna see things differently. You might not even feel like you really getting anything done because you haven't received the results yet. Which is the whole complete reason behind why you have to believe in yourself more than anybody else. Because if the only reason you doing what you doing is because you've been getting pats on the back and people telling you that you're doing a good job, you're gonna fizzle out. You're gonna burn out eventually. So like I said, this carries through every level of life that you can think of, whether it's working out, leveling up your financial status, or whatever the case may be. The point in general that I'm getting at is when you putting in your time and whatever your hustle is, it don't get the recognition that you might want to get for it or feel like it deserves until you just been doing it to a point so long that people have no choice but to respect it, because they see this not something you doing because they're watching you. This is something you would be doing whether they was watching or not. That's the difference. But also it's important for you to take note of the people who appreciate you and notice and do salute you versus the ones who did not care and did not respect your grind or your hustle until they seen it taking off and seen it start growing some wings. You have to be aware and knowledgeable about individuals like that. So it cuts into the simple principle that whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you believe in, whatever it is you're working on, you have to believe it more than anybody around you believe it. Because see, if you only believe it because people been talking good about it lately, or you only believe it because this person or that person told you it's something you should believe in, then the minute that same person or them same people start talking down or reverse all the shit that they were saying, you gonna fucking crumble. I don't know if you ever heard the expression, it's not on you, but it's in you. Kind of like how they say the game ain't to be told, but it's to be sold. But what I'm specifically saying is, it's not about how you look, and it's not about who you got around you paying attention while you doing it, while it's easy, or while it looks good, or while it's entertaining to watch. It's about what's in your heart. Even when ain't nobody watching you, even when don't nobody know that you working on this. And the reason it's so important for you to believe in it versus you having a group of people behind you that believe in it is like I just said. The minute that you lose the wind in your sails because they done stop hyping you up, now this whole thing that you've been claiming is your whole energy. It ain't your energy no more. It ain't what you got your heart in no more, because your heart was only in it because you was getting supported, right? Especially when we talking about a financial aspect. Like when we speaking from a place of situations where we talking about the money world, the financial realm, you may have an idea that nobody believes in until they see that you stuck with it and did not turn from it, did not give up on it, did not turn your back on it, and didn't let anybody trying to tell you that it wasn't what you should have been doing with your time. When you stick with it anyway, watch how many people you start noticing get behind you. Kind of like growing up in school when you might have a little style of fashion thing you like to do, and everybody kind of pick at you for it at first. But when you keep wearing it and not caring about what nobody's saying, eventually you notice now some of the same people who was talking about what you wearing, they copying you. They putting on what you putting on. They trying to dress like you. Why? Because you done set the trend and set the standard that no matter what anybody else got going on, no matter what anybody else is talking about, you done already make it clear. You done already made it clear, excuse me, that this is you. This is what you do. So once you done made it that clear, watch the bandwagon, watch the people who come along trying to get on your coattail and ride your coattail. And see, the thing is, some people will come around trying to ride your coattail, and then they'll be trying to tell you how you should be walking, how you should be moving. Like they're not sitting on the back of you, riding everything you've been doing and working on to the promised land that they didn't even have to work to get to. So you gotta hold yourself most valuable and precious to yourself, because there may be times that the people that you got around you that you trying to tell your visions to, that you trying to share your visions with, they either not gonna understand it or they're not gonna care because it's not happening yet. So in their mind, well, I hear you, bro, all that sound good, but I don't see you actually doing it yet, so I don't believe you. They not gonna tell you that's how they thinking and looking at it, but that's gonna be the energy, and that's how you gonna definitely feel whenever you try to tell them. So what I'm telling you, stop trying to tell them and just do it. Watch how fast you have a whole bunch of supporters, a whole bunch of people willing to step behind you and step for you and support you in general, all because you kept going. Even if they don't, when you really believe in yourself, it ain't gonna matter anyway. You'll even notice that before you had everything jumping, before you had everything moving, it almost seemed like nobody really had time to even listen to you talk about your vision, let alone to actually support or help or try to get involved with you. But once they see that it's something that's actually taking off, actually live, actually gonna work, actually gonna prosper, all of a sudden you're gonna see everybody that was sitting there kind of just watching you doing what you was doing, all of a sudden they gonna want to be involved. All of a sudden they gonna want to try to help all of a sudden. In other words, it's gonna almost feel like people ain't got time for you until they see that what you've been doing with your time is worth more than their time. That what you've been doing with your time is gonna get them further than what they've been doing with their time. So all of a sudden now everything that you've been talking about, that you've been discussing with them, now is worth something to them, because they see that it's carrying somewhere. It's carrying you and you carrying it. You get the point I'm making. I ain't even gotta elaborate or drag this out no further. You get the point. So we gonna wrap this up here. When I was down, they ain't have time. So when I'm up, I won't either. Stay in the mirrors.